one moment, one big breakthrough where you actually arrived? You went from being Victoria Wood aspiring performer to being the Victoria Wood we know now.
Well, I think when I was at the Bush, that was when I first realised how you wrote a joke, how you constructed a sketch. That was a really important thing for me. And I was working on stage with Julie, and we did lots of sketches. And it was a really lovely time, because the nice thing about the Bush was there were no toilets backstage, and if you wanted to go to the toilet, you had to go and queue up with the audience, which you didn't want to do, because you'd hear them saying, well, I didn't like her in That's Life and I don't like her now. So if you wanted to have a wee in the interval of the Bush Theatre, you had to go out into Shepherd's Bush and round and into the pub. And one of the sketches, I was dressed as a schoolboy, a little flannel shorts on and a tie, and Julie was dressed as Ruby Murray, the singer. You see, because it was a sketch set in Belfast, and I was playing a deaf mute because I can't do a Belfast accent. And, Julie was somebody who was going in for the Ruby Murray look-alike contest, as they had to say. And so we didn't really want to go out into Shepherd's Bush dressed as a schoolboy and Ruby Murray. Could have earned more money than what we were doing in Fringe Theatre. And so we used to use beer glasses, and we used to line them up on the... Oh, no, we did, didn't we? I'm sorry. Face facts. And I kept knocking them over. I've got a scar on my hand here where I knocked... I don't know why you're laughing. It wasn't funny. I was bleeding. And so Julie said this was a health hazard because she'd been a nurse, so she knew. And so she used to line them all up. She used to line all these beer glasses up in the office, and people used to go, say, don't drink the lager. Anyway, that is by the by. I just wanted to tell that story. And so that's when I felt I had sort of found my voice. And luckily, I'd had a big break from them because somebody asked me to write a play, and I wrote my first play, which was called Talent, which I wrote just after I'd been at the Bush. That was on at the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield, and that was bought by the head of drama at Granada, Peter Eckersley, and that really was a fantastic break for me, because it meant I could work with him, and he was really clever.
Yes, he was.
He died, unfortunately, a couple of years after I'd worked with him. So we did 3 plays at Granada, and he gave me my own series.
And that was a launching pad.
That was I never have been out of work since that time at the Bush. Having 4 years of not worked at all up until then.
I was going to say, you had bags of time before on that, before you didn't work at all, that's for sure, but yeah. Clive James has said about you that you're the kind of person, the last person you want behind you in a supermarket, because he get the feeling that you'd be looking at what was in your trolley and making a judgment about it and then writing about it.
Oh, what does he know?
Well, precisely. but the question's really about where the inspiration comes from. I mean, are you on all the time alert to the possibility of what people are saying and doing? You know?
No, I mean, I am terribly nosy, and I'm always a bit interested in what people say. I will hang about to the end of a conversation, things like that, but I don't consciously go and, observing things, because you'd be exhausted, wouldn't you?
Yes.
So I just have a life. I have a life, and hopefully that I'll remember some of it when I come to sit down and write.
Well, precisely, but you don't know when you sit down. It's again that mystery again. It sort of happens. It comes from God knows.
I hear voices. I think I don't recognise any of those voices, but they're in there somewhere.
And from your childhood and whatever it might be.
It must be.
Now, when the most successful play, I suppose, in terms of popular appeal that you did was the part of Margaret that you did for Screen One, which is marvellous. And it was a lovely idea. It was based on celebrity, the notion of celebrity, and it was about 2 sisters, one who remained where she was born and one who went to America, became a big soap star and came back and was this appalling person. It's about the conflict between the two of them. Now, where did that notion come from?
Well, it was partly because I was wanting to look at where I had come from, and wanting to look at my own journey a little bit, and wanting to look at the difference between, I suppose, the North, the Bury that I was brought up with, and the London that I lived in now. And I was interested in the difference between not being famous and being famous, and what that does to people, because although I'm not hugely famous myself, I've been with a lot of famous people and seen how it affects them. I was interested if you had a person who believed their own publicity, what that did to somebody, and if you bump them up against someone who knows the real person, what happens then? And I was also very interested in things like Surprise, Surprise, where people are, given appalling shocks on camera, people they've never seen for 20 years, and they have to think, well, what happens when the lights go out? What happens then? I was interested in that, really.
Because they are brought together, the sisters, by such a program.
Abandoned in hospitality,
totally abandoned. But do you not feel that perhaps all fame is corrosive, in a sense?
No, I think there's a way of dealing with it. I mean, I think you can't put your head over the parapet and say, please come and see my show, and then object if people stare at you in the street or take your picture.
No, but what I meant was that no matter how level-headed you might be about it, that it does affect you. I mean, in a sense, of course, it could not affect you as much as perhaps people around you. But
It does affect
that
it.
itself
affects,
changes you, does it not?
It does change you because you have a more limited circle of friends, I think, because people make assumptions about you because they've seen you, they think they know you.
Yes.
Well, they don't.
Yes.
But you're having to deal with people all the time who think they know what you're like.
Yes. Let's have a look at Pat and Margaret. Let's have a look at a clip. And it's a good, strong clip, this, between you and the estimable Julie Walters.
Hiya. The girl who brought my coffee said you got more journalists outside than Jose Carreras. Can't be bad.
I'm waiting for Claire. She has my bag, and then I will write you a cheque.
Pardon?
Just a one-off payment. This won't be a regular thing.
Sorry, you've lost me.
So, a one-off payment. You sign this. It's just to say, we're not related. I haven't got a sister. You have no claim on Pat Bedford Inc. That's my company.
You're not signing this.
What?
You have got a sister. I am your sister. You know I am. You recognised me straight away, didn't you?
You don't have to sign it until Claire brings the cheque. I'm not trying to be unreasonable.
I don't want the cheque. I haven't got a bank account anyway. Look, I had a surprise last night as well, you know. I didn't want to stay. I could have been on a coach last night having a laugh. I could have been at work this morning, not stuck in a room all on my own eating croissants, which I don't even like.
Fine, go back. But don't go out the front.
Oh, why? Because of the journalists?
They twist things.
There's nothing too twist about me. Met up with long-lost sister. Long-lost sister didn't want to know. Went home.
There's probably a back way through the kitchens.
Oh, well, I feel very comfy there then, won't I? It's very me, it's kitchens. Oh, here's your pants. Don't worry. I didn't wear them. I washed mine and put them on the towel rail.
Have them!
Oh, no, thanks. I don't want anything of yours.
Have you... But you, of course, you are famous, but you don't court celebrity in that sense, do you? I mean,
No, so I can't be fagged to go out, you see, so we
you
never...
know, it's like a plywood room. You like to sit there with your piano and